word I'm thinking of. Oh yeah, shenanigans. Hey crew, I've got the key to that 23 Toyota GR86. We are gonna take it for a drive, but first, let's check out how it looks on the inside and outside. No styling tweaks for the 23 model year, so that means we're still looking at this black plastic open mouth grille with a GR logo off to the side, projector LED headlights as standard with LED DRLs and incandescent turn signals. Those are above functional corner vents. This one is painted in Pavement Grey, which has a nice metallic flake to it, but the color itself is kind of boring to me. I prefer the dark blue or halo white. At the side, the base car gets standard 17-inch two-tone alloy wheels wrapped in Michelin Primacy tires, 215 section front and rear, while the premium trim gets 18-inch wheels in gloss black wrapped in Michelin Pilot Sport tires. Their functional vents here, you get these flared out rocker panels and gloss black for your mirror caps. Stepping back to look at the profile, the new GR86 silhouette has a nice flow to it, whereas the predecessor looked too tall and boxy for me. At the back, the base car doesn't get the extended spoiler of the premium trim, but it does get LED taillights and turn signals above a black plastic diffuser. And this car here gets the upgraded GR Performance dual exhaust system, which looks awesome. I just don't know if it matches the base wheels and lack of spoiler. Speaking of styling, does this new GR86 look like a sports car toy or weapon? Let me know in the comments, and let's check out the interior. Opening up and looking inside at this black interior with fabric seats on the base model, premium trims get leather and suede seats with seat heating. To get into the back, pull on this tab, and that's the legroom situation you're greeted with. If you've got a 6-footer like myself in the front seat, no adult is fitting behind you. And if the legroom isn't the problem, the headroom certainly would be. So maybe kids won't even fit back here. It's probably just gonna hold your stuff and maybe a car seat. The front door panels have leatherette with padding up top and here for your armrest with contrast stitching. That's hard plastic, that's hard plastic. This is a fabric insert. They're one-touch up-down windows. You get a cup holder here and then power adjusting, not power folding door mirrors. Hit that button to pop the trunk lid. It doesn't release all the way up. Inside, we find 6 cubic feet of space, not bad. And you can expand that by folding down the rear seats from inside the cabin to fit 4 full-size spare tires to hit the track. There isn't a handle to close the trunk, so I use the lip, and it comes down easily. Hopping in the driver's seat, and listening for the door close noise. A little bit of a rattle to those panels. Drivers get a leather wrap steering wheel as standard with a nice small diameter, and the rim feels great in my hands. GR logo is here on the bottom. There's a tachometer right in the center amidst the digital instrument cluster that has a reconfigurable portion off to the left. Up on the dash is injection molding, but then in front of the passenger are hard plastics. There's an 8-inch touchscreen with basic graphics, but it responds pretty well. And you get a volume knob, tuner, and some hotkeys on the side, in addition to wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Beneath the screen is a dual zone auto climate setting as standard and leather wrapping for your 6-speed manual gear selector and the shift boot. If you want the 6-speed automatic, you can get it. You just got to pay extra for it. Leather wrapping is also for your manual handbrake. Love to see that. Traction settings are here. Some hard plastics, leatherette padding for your cup holders, and just a little bit of storage. 2 USB-A ports are found in there as well. Headroom is solid. Head clears the roof. This is as low as this seat goes though, so if I had to put on a helmet, it might get kind of tight. I'm still gonna give it a thumbs up though. Visibility outside is okay, and that's good because there's no standard blind spot monitoring or rear cross traffic on the base trim. And this entry-level trim is short on some frills, but it does have everything you need, including the wired Apple CarPlay and some USB ports. It's also got space for the front passengers, just not for anyone in the back. Just don't put people back there, okay? Let's take the GR86 for a drive now. All right, let's fire it up. It's a deep rumble from the GR Performance exhaust. And did you see the little animation on the gauge cluster? It was the action of horizontally opposed pistons in the Boxer 4-cylinder. It's a cool detail. There's only one drive mode. It's like normal and then track. So I guess that's 2 drive modes. Miles, math? So we're just going to start in normal. Down goes the manual handbrake to go into reverse, lift up the ring, pull it over to the left, and move up. That brings up a screen filling and decent quality backup camera with trajectory lines. We're going to kick things off as usual with a turning radius test. Cranked. And it makes for a tight turning circle. It's the beauty of a small wheelbase sports car. Listening now for the turn signal sound. Unremarkable, and that's probably what you want to say about a turn signal. What about the horn? Okay. It's so very loud and so very dinky. But what about the powertrain? Is that dinky? Not anymore. The new generation GR86 and BRZ are using a Subaru-developed Boxer 4-cylinder that increases in displacement from 2 liters in the predecessor to 2.4 liters. And it's not just displacement that's up, it's power as well. We're up to 228 horsepower and 184 pound-feet of torque. That's an increase of 23 horsepower and 28 pound-feet. And importantly, that power comes in earlier. You get the peak torque from 3,700 RPM instead of 6,000 like you did in the predecessor. And so the buildup of momentum is very linear. And that is routed through your choice of a 6-speed manual or a 6-speed automatic to those rear tires. The brake pedal is very easy to modulate, come up to a smooth stop, and the throttle response is just what you need it to be. So you can choose an automatic, but in the GR86, I can't see a good reason to, because this is a very easy manual gearbox. If you're not comfortable with driving manuals, you're just inexperienced. It's got a very communicative engagement and release point. The shifts are nice and short throws with a very satisfying click into each gear, so there's no mystery as to whether you're in gear or not. The ride quality is firm like a sports car should be, but the dampening is sufficient to keep you from being too rattled over bumps and other imperfections in the road. The seats are very comfortable as well. Nicely padded, ergonomically shaped. It just feels very daily drivable and enjoyable, even at low speeds, with one possible exception. While that GR Performance exhaust does elicit more noise from the Boxer 4-cylinder, when you're up to highway speeds and just hoping to cruise, it just creates a drone in the lower part of the rev range that could get very tedious over time. I mean, call it my stage of life. I'm in my 30s now. It just doesn't seem worth it to me for that every day if you're commuting in it. I'd rather just stick with the factory exhaust and still get some of that Boxer 4-cylinder piped into the cabin, natural noise, not through the speakers, but not having quite as much of this. If I can lay off the throttle as much as possible, we can try to listen for the NVH level beyond the exhaust system. Which is okay. For this price point, you get some wind noise, you get some tire noise, some road noise, but it's not so very loud in here that this wouldn't be tolerable. And then by contrast, when the urge strikes you or the road you're on all but demands it, this car is fun. It is quick, friends. And as you get out to that 7,400 RPM red line, the character of this Boxer 4 changes. It has a more distinctive tone that, while not sweetly sonorous, is still worth pursuing. And with so few pounds to move, the Boxer 4-cylinder is more than up to snuff. As long as you are finding yourself above that 4,000 RPM mark, then the mid-range is prodigious for this segment of car. But while going fast in mostly a straight line is something the GR86 certainly can do, it's not what it's built to do. It's built for fun little roads like this, and to explore them, I'm going to go into the track mode. Holding this button down, it's going to change up the gauge cluster and turn off stability control. From here, it's up to us to have a good time. So controllable at the limit, so even though the Primacies want to push the rear end, you can just let it do its thing, and the platform encourages enthusiastic driving. The brakes have a strong bite, the pedal spacing is perfect for rev matching, though it does require quite a bit of throttle blipping to rouse the revs. The steering, though, might be my favorite part, because it's not only light and precise, but it loads up naturally in the corners to communicate those limits of grip. This platform is so playful that even the lean, though there is only a little bit of it, is just extra feedback to help you measure your response and widen the grin on your face. And while I know the Michelin Pilot Sport tires of the premium package would offer greater carrying speeds through corners, they wouldn't offer the same ease of, what's the word I'm thinking of? Oh yeah, shenanigans. But how will those Primacies handle a real-world 0 to 60 test? To find out, I've got my race box set up here. Traction and stability control are turned off. We're gonna see how we do. Trying to mitigate the tire spin. And quickly shift to 60 in 6.39 seconds. Now, while a pro could have certainly got to 60 quicker, it wouldn't have been much quicker on these Primacies because you have to be so finessed with how you let out the clutch and how you apply throttle because they just get overwhelmed so easily. And the limited slip differential, the Torsen LSD in the rear, is doing its best to put the power down, but you need the Pilot Sports if you want to see 0 to 60s as quick as 6 seconds flat, or even some outlets have got even as close as 5.9 seconds, as quick as 5.9 seconds. And that is going to lead me into my miles per hour word of the day, which for the 23 GR86 is exuberant, meaning lively or excited, because this car is just about having a good time behind the wheel. And whether that to you means ripping through corners or sliding around parking lots like a fool is up to you. It'll happily oblige either scenario. It is just about time to talk pricing and competition for the GR86, but before we do, let's go over the top speed and fuel economy. Top speed is 140 miles per hour and fuel economy is 20 mpg in the city, 27 on the highway, and 22 combined. Now the starting figure for this base model is around $29,500. If you want the premium, that's $33,000, and that has gone up as a package for the 23 model year compared to 22. This one, as tested, is a little over $31,000 with that GR Performance exhaust system. Competitors include the platform partner of this vehicle, the Subaru BRZ, which starts within $120 of this GR86, and the specs are the same across the board. There's the Mazda MX-5 Miata that also starts around $29,000. It makes 181 horsepower, gets to 60 in 5.7 seconds, all thanks to the fact that it's about 500 pounds less than the GR86, while getting fuel economy of 29 combined. And then there's the Honda Civic Si, if you're interested in a four-door sedan. That starts also around $29,000. It makes 200 horsepower, gets to 60 in 6.8 seconds, and has fuel economy of 31 combined. Between the BRZ and the GR86, it really just comes down to your badge and front-end styling preferences because they're the same vehicle. Thinking about the Civic Si, if you need a four-door sedan or just really want that practicality, there's nothing wrong with it. It's very fun to drive, the fuel economy is awesome, and the ride comfort is better than the GR86. It just, the front drive platform isn't as engaging to drive as this GR86, so if you don't need that practicality, I would go with this instead. The Mazda MX-5 Miata, that's a tough one. I love that car, so much so that I own one in first generation race car form, but I still love the new one because it's just this joyous, free-flowing fun both around town and on a canyon road, and it weighs a lot less than this, and so it feels even more tossable than this car, but it's not as practical, and the performance limits are just a little bit lower than this vehicle, and so for those two important reasons, that pushes me to the GR86 as my pick. I love this car, so much so that if given the chance, I'll probably buy one at some point. Which would you guys choose though? Would you go MX-5 Miata? Would you go GR86, Honda Civic Si? Or, do you prefer the BRZ? Let me know in the comments. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, and share it. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell to get notified. And I'll see you next time.